Your dog has been saying goodbye to you for weeks, and you have no idea. Right now, somewhere in the world, a dog owner is watching their best friend exhibit what they think is just getting old. Maybe they're sleeping more. Maybe they're not as excited about walks. Maybe they're just different. But here's what's really happening. That dog is in the final stages of their life, and they're trying to prepare their human for what's coming. Dogs don't die the way we think they do. They don't just suddenly collapse one day. They give us signs, dozens of them, sometimes for months before the end. The problem is, we don't know how to read them. So yeah, today we're talking about the 15 signs that your dog might be dying, and I'm going to be honest with you, this isn't going to be easy to hear. But it might be the most important thing you ever learn about your best friend. Alright, let's get into this. But first, I need you to understand something. Dogs hide pain and illness way better than humans do. It's literally hardwired into their DNA. In the wild, showing weakness means death. So even domestic dogs, who've been living with humans for thousands of years, still have this instinct to hide when they're suffering. That means by the time you notice something's wrong, things might already be pretty serious. Now here's the thing. I'm not trying to make you paranoid about every little change in your dog's behavior, but there are specific signs that, when you see them together, paint a pretty clear picture. Sign number 1. Loss of appetite that doesn't bounce back. Not just being picky about their kibble. I'm talking about your dog turning away from treats they used to go crazy for. Food is life to most dogs. When they stop caring about it, that's your first major red flag. But here's the twist. Some dogs will still eat, but they'll eat differently, slower, more carefully, like it hurts. Number 2. Extreme lethargy. Your dog used to greet you at the door like you'd been gone for years, even if you just took out the trash. Now they barely lift their head when you come home. I'm not talking about normal aging here. I'm talking about a dog who seems like they're carrying the weight of the world. Sign 3. Seeking isolation. Your dog starts hiding in places they never used to go. Under beds, in closets, behind furniture. This one breaks my heart because dogs are pack animals. When they start isolating themselves, they're basically telling you they're ready to die alone. It's an instinct as old as wolves. Number 4. Labored breathing when they're not hot or excited. If your dog is breathing hard while just lying there, something's seriously wrong. Healthy dogs breathe easy. When breathing becomes work, their body is struggling to function. Sign 5. And this one's tough. Loss of bathroom control. Dogs who have been house-trained for years suddenly can't make it outside. Now here's the thing. This isn't your dog being stubborn or forgetting their training. Their body is literally shutting down. Number 6. Rapid weight loss that you can see and feel. When you pet your dog, you can feel their ribs, their spine, bones that used to be covered by healthy muscle. This isn't gradual aging weight loss. This is their body consuming itself because it can't process nutrients properly anymore. Sign 7. Loss of coordination. Your dog stumbles, falls, can't navigate stairs they've been using for years. Their brain is struggling to communicate with their body. Basic functions that used to be automatic now require effort they don't have. Number 8. Body temperature changes. Your dog feels unusually cold or hot to the touch. Their nose, which should be cool and wet, might be warm and dry. Their internal thermostat is breaking down. They can't regulate their body temperature like they used to. Sign 9. Dramatic changes in breath odor. Not just normal dog breath, but something that smells sweet, metallic, or just wrong. When a dog's organs start failing, it changes the chemistry of their breath. It's their body's way of telling you something major is happening inside. Number 10. Signs of pain they can't hide anymore. Whimpering, panting when it's not hot, reluctance to move or be touched. Dogs hide pain until they absolutely can't anymore. When you start seeing obvious signs, they've probably been suffering in silence for a while. Sign 11. Sleeping way more than normal, and sleeping deeper. Your dog used to wake up when you entered the room. Now they sleep through everything. They're conserving every bit of energy they have left. Sleep becomes their escape from a body that's failing them. Number 12. Confusion or disorientation. Your dog gets lost in their own house. They stare at walls. They forget where their food bowl is. Their brain isn't getting enough oxygen or nutrients. Basic cognitive functions start breaking down. Sign 13. Withdrawal from family activities. Your dog used to be in the middle of everything. Now they watch from a distance, like they're already saying goodbye. This isn't depression in the human sense. This is them instinctively preparing for the end. Number 14. Visible physical decline. Their coat loses its shine. Their eyes become cloudy. Their gums turn pale or blue. Their body is redirecting resources away from non-essential functions. Looking good isn't a priority when survival is at stake. And sign 15. The one that's hardest to describe but impossible to miss. Your dog starts looking at you differently. Like they're trying to memorize your face. There's this awareness in their eyes, this deep sadness mixed with gratitude. They know what's coming, and they're trying to say goodbye the only way they can. Now here's the part that's going to hurt. Most dog owners miss these signs until it's too late. Not because they don't care, but because they don't want to see them. We tell ourselves it's just old age. We make excuses. We convince ourselves that tomorrow they'll be better. But dogs don't get better from dying. And pretending otherwise doesn't help anyone. I worked with a family once whose German Shepherd, Rex, had been showing these signs for over a month. The family kept saying he was just having bad days. Rex stopped eating his favorite treats. He couldn't climb the stairs anymore. He spent most of his time lying in the backyard, staring off into the distance. But the family wasn't ready to face reality. They kept hoping for a miracle. When Rex finally collapsed, it was too late for a peaceful goodbye. He died in pain, in a sterile vet's office, surrounded by strangers. That family will never forgive themselves for missing the signs, for not giving Rex the dignified end he deserved. The emotional reality. Here's what nobody tells you about watching your dog die. They're often more at peace with it than you are. Dogs don't have our human fear of death. They don't spend their last days worried about what comes next or regretful about things they didn't do. They just want to be comfortable. They want to be with their family. They want their pain to stop, but we project our own fears onto them. We keep them alive because we can't bear to let them go, not because it's what's best for them. The quality of life question. So here's the question that haunts every dog owner. How do you know when it's time? Veterinarians talk about quality of life, but what does that actually mean for a dog? It's not about whether they can still walk around the block or catch a frisbee. It's about whether they're experiencing more good moments than bad ones. Can they still enjoy their favorite things, even if they can't do them the same way? Do they still want to be near you? Do their eyes still light up when you talk to them? Or have they retreated so far into themselves that they're just going through the motions? The heartbreaking truth. You know what's really heartbreaking? Dogs often try to protect us from their dying process. They'll hide their symptoms when we're around, then collapse when we leave. They'll force themselves to eat a little bit so we don't worry. They'll wag their tail weakly when we come home, even though every movement hurts. They're taking care of us, even when they're the ones who need care. And that's both beautiful and devastating. The final choice. Here's the hardest truth of all. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let them go before nature takes its course. I know that's a controversial thing to say, but I've seen too many dogs suffer unnecessarily, because their owners couldn't make that final decision. The gift of a peaceful death, surrounded by love, free from pain, that's something we can give our dogs that we can't give ourselves. But only if we're brave enough to recognize when it's time. The preparation. So what do you do with this information? How do you prepare for something you hope never happens? First, you pay attention. You notice the little changes, the subtle shifts in behavior. You don't ignore them or explain them away. Second, you have honest conversations with your vet about what the end might look like for your specific dog, not in 10 years when it's happening, but now, when you can think clearly. And third, you make peace with the fact that loving a dog means eventually saying goodbye to them. Reflection. Conclusion. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Recognizing these signs isn't about giving up hope. It's about honoring your relationship with your dog. Your dog has spent their entire life reading your emotions, anticipating your needs, trying to make you happy. The least we can do is try to understand what they're going through when they need us most. These 15 signs aren't a death sentence. They're a communication system. Your dog is trying to tell you how they're feeling, what they need, what would make their remaining time better, but only if you're listening. And here's the thing about dogs. They don't want us to suffer any more than necessary. They want us to remember the good times, the belly rubs, the walks in the park. The way they used to steal socks, just to get our attention. They want us to know that loving them was never a mistake, even though it ends in heartbreak, because that's the deal we make when we bring a dog into our lives. We sign up for 10, 12, maybe 15 years of pure love, knowing that it has to end eventually. The signs I've shared today aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to prepare you. So you can be the human your dog deserves, not just during the good times, but especially during the hardest moments. Your dog trusted you to take care of them their whole life. Don't let them down when they need you most. Pay attention to the signs. Make the hard decisions. Give them the ending their love deserves. Because in the end, that's all any of us can ask for. Love that lasts until the very last moment.